Alright, we're going to talk about my current Sky Striker deck. Kind of some things to consider. Well, really, Sky Striker's EV hurts. That's all I gotta say. Like, I think now that we've gotten Kaina here, that a lot's changed. So this is Kaina. She's the new one. When she's laying summon, you target an opponent's monster. That monster cannot declare an attack till the end of your opponent's turn. Then each time you activate a Sky Striker spell card while this young friendo is on the field, you do get 100 life points. So she does kind of make an attempt to save you from death, plus free life point management is pretty good. But we'll talk more about that in a little bit. I do want to talk about Sky Striker in general and kind of some things to kind of look forward to. Probably do another updated build at some point. I love this deck. You guys, you want more real life deck profiles? You guys got to humor me because we do play a lot of meta. So we do have triple copies of Ray. You have no reason not to be playing this. I love this deck because it hasn't gotten hit so much. Also, plus-based waifu. Now that you've got Eradicator and Interrupted Kaiju Slumber running around in the format, I think we need to make some very bad decisions in deck building now. So, triple copies of this. Triple copies of Ash Blossom. So, this card is mandatory. You can't really get away without playing it in Sky Striker. So, triple copies of this. Getting the disruption on your opponent is honestly why this deck has a chance to succeed. I'm also kind of getting cheeky, and I kind of want to play Droll again. It's kind of bad. Now, I am still playing 2 copies of Ogre at this point in time. Moving into Savage Strike, I still think that this card has its potential. Especially since my metagame has a lot more Rogue. I don't see a lot of issue with wanting to play this. But still, for the current point in time, this card is extremely valuable to a lot of situations. Could potentially be Droll, though. Alright, Sky Striker-y things. So we have triple copies of Engage. No real explanation needed. Triple copies of Widow Anchor. Like, these are the cards that make the deck go round. And the fact that this deck is just getting hit even harder in our metagame, like, Secret Village is a real pain in the butt. We have 1 copy of Hornet Drones, 1 copy of the Beautiful Afterburners, 1 copy of Jamming Waves, 1 copy of Shark Cannon, and 1 copy of Eagle Booster. Or, excuse me, 1 copy of Hercules Base. I kind of want to up this to 2, just because I want more destruction in the deck. Jamming Waves might actually become obsolete here. That's kind of a strange thing to say. Now, we need to talk about this card. I want to play 2. And now that Slumber is running around at a much higher number, I've kind of started to realize that, oh shit, maybe Eagle Booster might be a thing. Your Thunder Dragon matchup has just gotten so much harder now. You literally have to draw, there can only be 1 to even kind of have a chance now. Especially with EEV running around now. But in the matchups where the rogue decks are pushing towards Slumber now, having another copy of this might not be such a bad option. I know a lot of people were already on 2, and I get that. I'm a little bit behind the times. I like having it as a one-of in certain matchups. But, you know, locking that monster up there and making sure that your opponent can't do anything to it is kind of the reason why Sky Striker has any real validity in today's format. Like, you have to protect that boss monster. And you have things like Cyber Dragons running around that can just contact out with it. Like, it just, I guess this also depends on the meta, but if we were truly going into more of a kaiju heavy format, this is going to matter. Like, this combat Slumber, but, you know, once your opponent gives you once they give you your kaiju, like, all of your stuff's turned off anyway. So we got to kind of look towards other options to make sure that that doesn't happen. Now, other options do include the multi-rolls. This card, I still think 3 is fine. I was a big advocate for this at 2 for the longest time. I kind of understood. I might want to push this back to 2 for the format. Could be another card, but I mean, it does reset everything. It is good. Now, we do have 2 copies of the Field Spell and 2 copies of Terraforming to go with it. This is still pretty standard. No real change here. Now, 1 copy of Rhoda, standard. I still think because Altergeist are running around, that you need to be maining twins. And this is a strange one, because like against Thunder Dragons, this card sucks. But against the other chunks of the meta, though, you have a lot of things that you can use this against. I think that is very important to understand. But yes, you do need cards to combat the current metagame. So, congratulations, Twin Twister. You're fucking broken. Now, still on the 2 Foolish, the 1 Metamorphosis. I don't think this is going to change. I do like the dumping that this gives you. Not getting too greedy in that, but that's fine. We have 1 copy of Upstart Goblin, just further deck thinning. I'm still playing the 1 pot. My friend keeps telling me to drop this. I keep disagreeing. Every time I draw this card and I resolve it, I seem to win. I had a game against Altergeist this weekend, actually, where I banished all my engages, but it was fine because I was already in such a demanding position. Like, in Altergeist, like, you just need to get as many cards as you can to capitalize on things. So there's that. Now, for traps, I am playing 1 Warning, 2 Ripple copies of Strike, and I actually, with the way the format is going at this point, I'm leaning towards Judgment again. Now, you have to be careful playing these cards, because you can get Condemned Witches, or you can get Witches Striked out of nowhere, and that will blow you out of the water. So, you have to be careful. But with Kaijus and things running around, you might have to consider keeping a monster off your field to keep your engages turned on. And if that's a sacrifice that you got to make for 1500, obviously you lose your monster, but to keep stuff on, like, it's fine. Slumber is a good card, but this card has always been good to me. I like it, especially when you go first and you're already in a good controlling position. It just solidifies it even harder. Like, and by a good position, I mean 1 Widow Anchor against Altergeist. Having this backing it up is always good. Now, let's talk about kind of what I've got going on in the extra deck here. So, currently playing 1 copy of Kaina. I actually am considering 2 of this. That might be incorrect. I like the defense play that you can do with this on your opponent's turn. If they actually out and force you into the Ray, you actually now have a defense means to bring this out, target a monster, and make sure that it can't attack. Plus the life point gain in time is kind of dumb now. I didn't actually want to admit it, but kind of plus life point gain is pretty cute. But I am leaning towards 2 of this. I'm indifferent about it, but she's a good card nonetheless. Now, still on triple copies of Hayate. I mean, this is still mandatory, I feel. Triple copies of Kagari. Also still think she looks beautiful as an ulti. And then, of course, triple copies of Shizuku, also mandatory copies. Now, the extra deck is still... I'm still playing Cherries. It's still up in the air. Playing the 1 copy of Isolde for the Cherries target. 1 Phoenix, 1 copy of Unicorn. And 1 copy of Boral Sword, 1 copy of Bomber Dragon. I'm kind of leaning towards Space Insulator as an option to try. I think Spacey Boy is pretty cute, nonetheless, but yeah. Alright, things for my locals. Triple copies of this. We still had Warrior Toolbox running around. Now we're a True Draco local. So, this is mainly for the Sky Striker mirror. I do like this. I know a lot of people hate this for the mirror. This is probably going to get cut for something better, but for all intents and purposes, it still serves relatively well. This will probably turn into Phantomaze. We have 2 copies of Shared Right. If your locals is 100%, by 100%, I mean, if you got Mad Sky Striker, main deck these. I don't have Mad Sky Striker. Just kind of there to help out in certain matchups. I do board this in a lot against Rogue. Triple copies of There Can Only Be One. Altergeist and Thunder Dragons will hate you. Just kind of pay attention to what you're doing with what modes you're in with this. So, pretty self-explanatory. 1 Heavy Storm Duster. I kind of want to go to 2 of this. I think that this is kind of nutty. This card is so fucking good. And then, of course, triple copies of the Win Button. By the Win Button, I mean you resolve this, your opponent still has Secret Village and Multi-Faker in hand. You're going to have a bad time. Learn that one. This card is a Win Button, but it depends. And then, of course, triple copies of Impermanence. This card is still Very good card. Depends on the matchup I bring this in for, but I still like this. So, I do want to play more copies. I kind of think it's worth it. But what do you guys think? Stopping your opponent from getting a crucial attack off to prevent yourself from dying is pretty good. So guys, please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about Sky Strikers in general. Where are you guys heading with this list? I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts. And well, guys, I'm out. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.